Pleasures of being TI. Today is the September 25th, 2021. And well, what are the pleasures of being TI? Well, the first pleasure is the consciousness. Excuse me. We have it. They like it or they don't have it at all, like compassion and stuff. So that's why we are targeted because we have it and we can see stuff around us. All-seeing eye doesn't like that, and then we have it. You know how it goes. Smear campaign, blacklisting, mobbing at work, people coughing under your window talking about your stuff, people standing by you talking about you, then switching to topic about the nice weather and it's nice for hiking. So you have all this kind of stuff, and you become aware of the game, and that awareness is beautiful. And then you start understanding many things. First is like, okay, if I'm TI, who's the PI? If I'm targeted individual, who's 180 degrees? Who's privileged individual? Who has a nice government position like a teacher at the university? Before that worked at the city from planning department. Coming from the high communist family, father was a minister of diplomacy in Socialist Republic Yugoslavia 1945, then ambassador in London, Rio de Janeiro, Rome. So you have this kind of stuff they were talking about. And on top of that, no more mobbing. So you first start understanding who's privileged. Second thing is what you start understanding that those who are privileged happen to be very toxic and very intelligent, because you start understanding the game. If you're closer to the truth, you're targeted. If you're closer to the evil, you're privileged in positions and money and cushy life. Everything okay with you. Nobody's coughing around you. Maybe you're inside the game. So you start understanding that. And the networks. And the networks is, of course, the class system, but more privilege and then class. And then third thing, you start to understand this toxicity. You start to understand that most of them are common people and bad guys. They are like basically animals. Number one is what is in for me. That's the question. How to they are in this game for their goals. Can be apartment. Excuse me again. Can be apartment. Can be house. Can be two kids. Can be two cars. Can be 500 square meters of a garden. He's going for it. He knows what he wants. He's aggressive like a bulldog, average guy. Second thing, in order to get these things, he needs to play nice with the system. He needs to play by the rules. He needs to think like a system wants. He needs to also to talk loudly about you, what you told him, and then it's practically reported. So these are the social networks, and people are doing this stuff without being conscious. The consciousness, they like it, we have it. So people talk, and then people turn against you. So first stage is somebody heard something about you, doesn't want to tell you because he's afraid of the person he heard of. Second thing is, of course, he start to laugh on his jokes and start to tell him back, but not tell you. You understand me? That's average in the social game. Power dynamics. You're down. Evil is up. You dig me? And then next step is he becomes like an agent and a backstabber. So you need to understand the game. Who's inside the system? From the smallest parts, those working class. Yes, boss. Then you have middle class. These are already very toxic because they're more intelligent and they have more to lose. And then you have upper middle class. And upper middle class is like a next class to the psychopathic Illuminati reptiles. They are their servants, tiny secretaries, secretarios, secrets, bookkeepers, doctors. The police, the military, the owners of the properties, and then they're renting those to the struggling business class. Yeah, now I'm speaking too much, but you have the idea. And then you start to understand the whole that game, and immediately understanding the human lowest nature, you can predict how the thing's gonna go. Voila. The coronavirus, the vaccines, the whole thing about them. Here you go. So What's that test? That's the test of the consciousness. If you don't have it, you go get vaccinated. If you have it, something is you screaming no. Okay, that's also another pleasure because you're gonna be targeted, but at least you're not gonna be vaccinated. So you have all these different elements of being a TI, and the things you understand, the things you see, and that gives you psychological comfort. And Tim, this is for you if you're watching it from the New Zealand. Facebook is not your diary. You write your thoughts down in your diary, like a notebook, like this one here. Okay, you write it down. You don't type it on a Facebook wall because people who don't know you, they see partialized information, and to them it looks like schizophrenia. They don't see the whole picture. That's why you have diary, diarrhea, and then the diary is diarrhea, not the Facebook. And because you're sending a wrong message, you're sending wrong message, basically confirming message of the gang stalkers. That's exactly what you don't do. What you do is you use Facebook for explaining the things with the links to the medical articles about and narcissistic personality disorder and stuff, right? You do that and then you refer on that. That sounds rational. People respect that. So you dig me. That's why I wrote the comment to get your attention. So when you TI, you either have to be above the madness or you're gonna sink down. So how you don't help the madness? Well, of course you don't drink alcohol ever. You don't take any, I call it Javolska or Vražje droge, devil's drugs like alcohol, heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, crystal meth, amphetamines, whole that thing, in pills and Valium benzos that hold that. What was, came from pharmaceutical industry like a heroin and a cocaine, and then became illegal. Okay, right? Yeah. Same goes with the speed. It was given to the soldiers in the Second World War, in German and British soldiers. You could actually buy speed in the 1960s in London. Early party goers, the baby boomers of the 60s, mods, stuff. Yeah, they've been like popping those pills so they could dance like a whole night. So this is what you not fall into. Okay, that's like a first trap, and then gambling, and then you know, then it's up to you. Then it's up to you. These are the pleasures of being targeted individual. You just start seeing all the connections between all these little things like drug industry, the organized crime, the all-seeing eye, the gangs, the rules, all these levels. Everything becomes very clear, and it's beautiful. But in a way, in your society, you're like Zeus on the Olymp. You're observing everything, but you can't communicate with mortals easily. So you need to use YouTube. That's just how it goes. Because yeah, you know what you're gonna hear. Combination of mocking, disrespect, and envy and silent respect kicks in both ways. So these are all the pleasures, right? So I'm just gonna upload it as it is. I'm sure YouTube gonna be fine with this video. I have backup channels on a BitChute and Rumble. Many of you subscribed already, all 20 of you. Thank you guys, my hardcore viewers, 20 guys, and I respect that. And take care, guys, and have a great day today.